So there are some huge announcements about Dogecoin and overall crypto adoption, and it appears that Dogecoin's mass adoption is on the cards. So it is now highly likely that tech giant Google is going to include a crypto payments option in its payment features. Google has hired a PayPal veteran, Arnold Goldberg, to help with the expansion of Google Pay as it sets its sights on the future, including plans to explore crypto. And he has been given the task of running Google's payments division as part of a company-wide push into financial services, including crypto. And as per Google's President of Commerce Bill Reddy, crypto is something that Google pays a lot of attention to, and he has stated that the user demand and merchant demand for crypto are evolving. And this is why Google is also evolving with it. Moreover, it has been revealed that as part of the overhaul, Google will focus more on being a comprehensive digital wallet that includes cryptos, digital tickets, airline passes, and passports. Besides, we know that Google has also partnered with Coinbase and BitPay to store crypto assets in digital cards. So we are now seeing that Google is coming up with more and more crypto-related initiatives. And it is showing great interest in cryptos. And given Google's dominance in search and other online services, a full embrace of crypto could be a game changer for the crypto industry, which is pushing for mainstream crypto adoption. So this is a massive update for cryptos, especially Dogecoin. And it is highly likely that once Google officially adopts cryptos, then they will adopt Doge thanks to its low transaction fee and high utility. And there is another massive update for Dogecoin that you should know about, but I'll come to it later. Let's first see some macroeconomic trends that are very important for Dogecoin and the overall crypto market. So we are now seeing that just like in the United States, inflation is also rising in European countries. And according to Eurostat, annual inflation in the area of the common European currency, the euro, has increased for a sixth consecutive month to a record high of 5% in December. And it appears that the European Central Bank is concerned over inflation in the euro area rising beyond its own expectations. However, Europe's monetary authority is not prepared to raise interest rates at this point in time. And this means that more and more Europeans are now going to invest in cryptos like Doge and Bitcoin to hedge against rising inflation. And talking about rising inflation, we know that the U.S. Labor Department's data published last week showed that inflation is the highest it has been in 40 years at 7%. And last month's Consumer Price Index data was the third consecutive month over 6%. And while the situation is already worse in the U.S., Senator Rand Paul has recently stated that he believes that inflation is only going to get worse from here. In fact, a lot of market analysts have been predicting that inflation is going to rise further during this year. And this means that as we have seen before, more and more investors are now going to invest in the crypto market to counter the rising inflation. And this move by investors is highly likely to propel the prices of cryptos up in the coming months. So this is good news. And now, let's come to Bitcoin for a minute and see what is happening with it. So we know that Bitcoin has been trading below 45K for the last couple of weeks, and it is currently 40% below the 69K all-time high. But the good thing is that this movement holds similarities to late September 2021, when Bitcoin price flatlined for 11 days, and it was 36% below the previous 64K all-time high on April 14. And we can see here that earlier in September, the basis rate of Bitcoin ranged from 9% to 13%, indicating confidence. But on September 29, right before Bitcoin broke out above 45K, the 3-month futures premium was at 6.5%. And generally, readings below 5% are typically deemed bearish. So a 6.5% reading in late September meant investors were displaying low confidence. And the thing to note here is that the current Bitcoin 3-month futures premium also stands at 6.5%. And the indicator recently ranged from 9% to 11%, reflecting mild optimism. So the point is that the current market condition has a lot of similarities to September 2021, right before Bitcoin broke and initiated a 62% rally. And we may see history repeating itself anytime now, and Bitcoin may hit a new all-time high. And as per another important update, Mike McGlone, senior commodities strategist at Bloomberg Intelligence, believes that Bitcoin will soon no longer be a risk asset. He believes that as the Fed attempts to rein in inflation and dramatically decrease asset purchases, the outlook is much less appealing for risk assets in the near term. And he believes that there is a silver lining when it comes to Bitcoin's inherent appeal. He thinks that Bitcoin is transitioning from a risk onto a risk-off asset, and this is why he believes that Bitcoin will come out better off after the period of policy upheaval. And I think he is right because we have recently seen that Bitcoin and the overall market are maturing, and they are becoming less risky. So this means that more and more investors will now get on board and adopt cryptos. Now, as promised, let's talk about something really massive update for Doge and other cryptos that every holder needs to know about. So it appears that hundreds of small U.S. banks are set to offer Bitcoin and crypto trading services during the first half of 2022 as cryptos continue to become popular among clients. And according to a report from American Banker, an estimated 300 community banks in the U.S. will start providing Bitcoin and crypto trading on their mobile apps. And they are planning to start this service in the first or second quarter of this year with the aid of crypto fintech company NYDIG. And as per Bank South CEO Harold Reynolds, banks have seen significant activity in crypto transactions from their customer accounts. And a few investments have been rather large. And this is why banks are now showing great interest in cryptos. Similarly, the leading banking service operator in Morocco, Attijariwafa Bank, has recently announced that it is going to dive into cryptos, and it is going to offer cross-border crypto payments. And the bank has signed a partnership with RippleNet, an international cross-border payment network designed by blockchain company Ripple. And with this partnership, they are going to offer crypto payment services to their thousands of customers. So we are now seeing that more and more banks are adopting cryptos. And this clearly means that the adoption of cryptos like Dogecoin and Bitcoin is going to boost. And Doge is going to get more traction thanks to its massive popularity, high utility, and smooth transaction process. And talking about rising crypto adoption, 2021 will go down as the biggest year for cryptos like Doge and Bitcoin in terms of adoption, both from institutions and corporations. So we are now seeing that despite the market's volatility in 2021, the year ended up being a net gain for nearly every element of the crypto sector. Several significant changes occurred throughout the year, some of which drove the adoption and success of the broader crypto market. And we are now seeing that the number of crypto-dedicated investment funds seeking to profit from market returns has increased dramatically in 2021. Assets under management of crypto-dedicated investment funds increased from about $36 billion in January 2021 to about $60 billion in October 2021, which is a 64% growth. And a significant portion of this year-over-year increase in assets under management for cryptos is due to legacy financial institutions and investors directly investing in crypto-focused funds. And the best thing is that this institutional adoption of cryptos is going to rise in 2022 and beyond. And this is yet another important piece of data showing us that the future of cryptos like Dogecoin and Bitcoin is very bright. And now let's come back to Bitcoin for a minute. So there is a huge update for Bitcoin as Intel is planning to enter the Bitcoin mining space. And it has been revealed that Intel is now working on an ultra-low voltage energy efficient ASIC chip that will be used for efficient Bitcoin mining. So considering that the chip shortage severely delayed the next generation of ASIC miners, this is tremendous news for Bitcoin miners. And more importantly, it is going to open up the door for Bitcoin miners manufacturing in the USA and in the rest of the Western world. Moreover, if this whole thing materializes, we can expect a huge leap forward in the further decentralization of Bitcoin mining. And another good thing is that the Bitcoin mining process is now becoming more and more sustainable. According to new data, the percentage of the global Bitcoin mining industry running on renewable power increased by 1% to about 58% in the fourth quarter of 2021. So with Intel also entering the Bitcoin mining space, we will see this mining process becoming more sustainable and efficient in the near future. And once this happens, then we will also see its positive impacts on Bitcoin's price. And now let's come back to Dogecoin as there is an interesting update for it. So as per a recent survey, more than 60% of the respondents have stated that Dogecoin is going to value around $1 sometime in 2023. So this survey result clearly shows that crypto investors have a very bullish long-term outlook for Doge. And the good thing is that despite the recent price drops, they still have a lot of expectations from it. And I think Dogecoin can truly come up to their expectations. This is because despite its current sideways movement, the long-term outlook for Doge is still very bullish. We have just seen how Dogecoin's adoption is going to rise in the near future. And this means that once Doge gets massive adoption, it will also rise in terms of its price.